Well, you can imagine the reaction to the announcement of this new ethics hearing from the sexual assault survivor at the center of the first one. We heard from Jane Doe's attorney during the previous proceedings about how traumatic it all was to her client. I mean, aside from the actual assault and having to publicly testify at the hearing, she was referring to the second assault with the outing of her name, the release of her picture and personal information, and the personal attacks that followed. It all felt like another complete loss of her body and autonomy. Annie Hightower is Jane Doe's attorney. She's also the director of law and policy at the Idaho Coalition Against Sexual and Domestic Violence. She told us then, in her 13 years of working with survivors, she had never seen such harm caused or meanness displayed by so many people toward a victim. She told us today, there's some relief. There might be some accountability.
My feelings around this are really complex. One, I wish we never had to get here, right? I wish the behavior wouldn't have occurred in the first place. It just demonstrates why people don't report. The number one thing that people who experience sexual assault, the number one reason they give why they don't report is fear of retaliation. And this was retaliation. It put my client at risk. I am happy that there is some form of a process to provide accountability for my client happening. And I hope it, makes people think twice when they're going to do something like this in the future.
The process going forward, I know this kind of just drags it out. I mean, she's got the investigation already to deal with, but This does put her back in the limelight a little bit.
It definitely puts her in the limelight. I mean, she's back in the media. When I talked to her yesterday, it's difficult for her because she is Jane Doe, but she's also a person with feelings. She's a real person who, at this point, for many reasons, has not been able to tell her story openly beyond what was provided in the ethics committee hearing.
This may seem like an obvious question, but what would you like to see come out of this?
I'd like to see the committee make a recommendation that holds Representative Giddings accountable for, distributing the name, likeness, and personal information about a person who reports sexual assault. If we can't get there as a state, we're never going to have a safe space where people can report what's happened to them and seek, services they need to create safety in their lives.
Okay, so yesterday, Representative Giddings had a response calling it retaliation, this ethics committee hearing. Can you see that? Do you believe that this is what this is?
I believe that what is happening is the natural consequence of behavior that is not becoming to a representative of the state. I have no basis to believe this is retaliatory in any way. You have a person in a position of authority setting up the circumstances where she has probably impacted the choices and decisions around reporting of sexual assaults well into the future that we know of. That should not be what our lawmakers are doing.
It is my understanding that Jane Doe's name was in that article. I had not, thoroughly examined all of that. I wanted both sides of the story to be accurately represented.
And her feigning that ignorance of, well, I was just reposting an article, I didn't know what was in it, kind of thing.
Right.
Do you buy that?
I'm looking at the Facebook post now, and there is a picture of, you did post a picture of Jane Doe on there, didn't you?
Representative Gannon, I posted a link to a news article.
Okay, are there pictures?
You're saying that there are, so.
Yeah. Are there, to the best of your recollection, did you post pictures?
Representative Gannon, I posted a link to a news article.
With pictures?
She's been saying that all along, that she's reposting an article, just pushing out information that was already out there. She knows that as a representative, she should be held to a higher standard. This is a space that should be safe. This is the people's house. It should be safe for everyone to walk in the door. It was not safe for my client to work there. And the fact that she reported that and sought help and then had this happen to her is not, I don't think, what the people of Idaho like to see. And I hope there's some accountability.
We were also told today the Boise police investigation into that rape allegation of Von Ellinger is still open. When we asked Annie how Jane Doe is feeling about this latest development with this second ethics hearing, she said it's hard for her to say right now. She's still just kind of processing it. Annie also told us she's starting She started receiving emails and phone calls about the safety of her client almost immediately after Representative Giddings posted that article. And since then, since the hearing, she says she has also received countless letters from other survivors saying that type of retaliation and exposure is why they chose not to report their sexual assault. If you are a survivor of sexual assault and you need help, please reach out to any of the local resources that are out there, like Faces of Hope, the Women's and Children's Alliance, or you can contact the National Sexual Assault Hotline. The number is on your screen, 1-800-656-4673 or 656-HOPE.